Tonight, we're following two breaking stories, both domestic and abroad. WNBA star Brittany Griner has been sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison after being convicted on drug charges.
Now we'll have live coverage in just a moment, but first we want to start with an update in the murder of Breonna Taylor. 4 police officers are now facing federal charges. Thanks for watching NABJ NAHJ News. I'm Tony Bryce.
And I'm Ivarelis Lopez Martinez. Breonna Taylor's death sparked nationwide protest and a push for justice to be served. According to a U.S. attorney, 2 current and 2 former police officers in Louisville have been charged with violating Breonna's civil rights. Let's get right to NABJ's Jasmine Franklin. Jasmine, this all started over a botched raid.
Yes, and many of the journalists here at the convention covered that story in their cities and towns. Listen to this.
Anybody that has such heinous crimes as that, the guys that killed Breonna Taylor while she was in her sleep, they definitely should get locked up, and I'm glad they've been charged, and we'll see where it goes from there.
And that's just one reaction to the latest development in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor. 4 officers involved in the raid that took her life now face federal charges.
My reaction was, yes, finally. That's what was my reaction. This has taken too long. We have had too many of these incidents where the officers have gone, not been held accountable.
But now, 4 officers accused of involvement during that no-knock raid face federal charges, including lying to obtain a search warrant for Taylor's home.
There's a shock factor to hear that these officers are going to be charged and be sent to trial because, unfortunately, there's been just so many black folks who have been murdered by the hands of police and have walked away free.
And you'll see more information about that on social media with various reactions across. And we'll keep an eye on various updates from different news sites. For NABJ News, NAHJ News, I'm Jasmine Franklin.
Thank you, Jasmine. The other big story we're following is the conviction and sentencing of WNBA star Brittany Griner. This morning, Griner was sentenced to 9 years in Russian prison for drug possession and smuggling. NABJ's Alexis Davis is live in the studio. And Alexis, it's a case that's already sparking protests.
Brittany Griner's case in Russia came to a climax today. WUSA sports director Darren Haynes has been following this case closely and says the ruling is unfair.
She was wrongly detained in Russia for something very simple as a drug that's kind of legalized a lot in the United States. Obviously, Russia's a different country.
Griner is an 8-time WNBA All-Star who won a championship in 2014 with the Phoenix Mercury, and before that, a national championship when she played at Baylor University. ESPN anchor Elle Duncan says we have failed her.
Anytime that one of our country women or men is being used as a political pawn and we are not doing everything in our power, it's been 101, almost 70 days. It's unbelievable.
Taryn J. Phillips, senior writer at Deadspin, says all the odds are already stacked against Griner.
She is black, she is a woman, and she is gay. It is hard being a double minority, and she is a triple minority.
Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists president Ernest Owens says he feels being a minority in multiple ways can be a setback when facing the world.
When you're someone who's living on the margins of 2 different identities, race and sexual orientation, those things provide itself to be a double whammy.
A known gap between the WNBA and NBA salaries is the main reason Griner travels overseas to play.
She is a huge name. She is a champion at every level. She has so much name recognition, and the idea that she can't make enough income to support her family, that she would have to supplement it by going to Russia anyway, is ridiculous. Could you imagine LeBron in the offseason having to go play in Greece? It would never happen.
The WNBA rallies behind Griner, her wife, and her family since her initial Moscow arrest. Griner's high school coach, Debbie Jackson, says the superstar's comedic and compassionate spirit keeps her going.
I'd love to give her a big hug and just say I love her, and I'm praying for her, I'm supporting her, and that she can get through this. Do not give up hope.
We're working to find out what will be next for Griner. In the meantime, the U.S. and Russia are having talks of a possible prisoner exchange. Brittany has a family and a Brittany's family and country are eagerly waiting for her arrival. NABJ, NAHJ News, I'm Alexis Davis.
President Joe Biden released a statement saying, in part, "My administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every possible avenue to bring Brittany and Paul Whelan home safely as soon as possible."
The WNBA and NBA is also weighing in. They released a joint statement that says, in part, "Today's verdict and sentencing is unjustified and unfortunate, but not unexpected, and Brittany Griner remains wrongly detained."
COVID cases are on the rise lately, but we are also seeing a rise in monkeypox cases. The rapid spread has pushed President Biden to declare monkeypox a public health emergency Thursday afternoon.
We're seeing cases pop up all over the country, including here in Las Vegas. The Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services discussed the administration's plan during the briefing.
The Biden administration declared monkeypox a public health emergency as the U.S. has now seen over 5,000 cases. The hope is to speed up vaccine distribution and expand testing. Turning to weather now, after another hot day, the question is, what will tomorrow bring?
Brooklyn Joyner joins us now with a look at your forecast.
Anything good?
Actually, yes, because I walked outside today and it cooled down immensely. Look, it is 79 degrees outside today, and that's a big difference compared to the 100-degree weather we've been experiencing nearly every day. So look, you can even see the temperatures are getting a lot cooler. Usually the weather up here is a lot cooler in the north, and the weather is usually like 100 degrees down here, but it's about the same. So you can see like the rain that is being brought into the area is cooling down where we're at right now. And it's gonna be like that for the rest of the week. See, well, not the rest of the week, but Friday it's going to be cool, but Saturday and Sunday the temperatures are going to rise again. And make sure you wear your sunscreen, wear light clothes, and drink at least 2 liters of water because you want to stay hydrated in the heat. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Back to you.
Thank God, because I was so over that hot weather. It was 100 degrees, too much. I can't do it. I'm glad that it was raining a bit at least.
Got a little relief.
Yes, at least. So now the NABJ board is facing a lack of candidates this election cycle. There's only 1 member running for each position that is up for election, and 1 position will still remain vacant.
According to the NABJ Election Committee Chair, Ray Montier, one of the main challenges is the pandemic. Concerns about the spread of COVID-19 have prevented members from gathering in person for the convention.
Our momentum as an organization builds from conventions. We haven't had an in-person convention in 2 years, and I guarantee you it makes a difference because when you come to the conventions, when you interact with people, when you get to meet board members and you get to hear discussions about going on, that is one of our pathways to leadership.
I grew up in this organization, both on a local level and a national level, so it's just a part of my life and who I am, and it's important to me. And so when I got the opportunity to serve, that's what I do, that's what I did.
That was Lisa Cox, longtime NABJ member and former secretary of the organization's board. Both Cox and Montoya expressed optimism for future leadership interests. I mean, this year's attendance is greater than expected, with more than 4,000 people attending the convention. Las Vegas is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, in large part because of the growth of the Latino community.
Yeah. Pero esta, que se ha convertido en una meca del turismo, también depende del trabajo de miles de latinos. Dayana Villanueva nos explica.
Los trabajadores hispanos abundan en Las Vegas, compartiendo su pasión, talento y creatividad.
Ahora sí que como todo hispano, a tratar de salir adelante, y pues yo dije, llegó Tacos el Gordo aquí y yo dije, pues voy a ver si me dan la oportunidad.
Janet empezó como mesera y ahora supervisa a 25 empleados en la sucursal Tacos El Gordo, en las orillas del norte de Las Vegas Strip.
Todo el mundo habla inglés, pero cuando llegan y te piden algo en español, pues te sientes bien, porque pues es tu idioma.
Jesús tiene 13 años trabajando como taquero en Tacos El Gordo. Él nos dice que se siente en casa, ya que proviene de México.
Esto está hecho a mano en México y esto está hecho a mano en Ecuador.
Y para José Medina, poder hablar español es una ventaja en sus labores diarios. Al igual que José, el 25% de la población en Las Vegas habla español, según los datos de la Oficina del Census de Estados Unidos. Y Las Vegas se ha convertido en el hogar de más de 213,000 hispanos.
Mucha gente aquí quiere aprender el español porque ayuda.
José nos dice que poder compartir su idioma natal lo hace sentir parte de una comunidad internacional. Reportando para Latino Reporter, soy Dayana Villanueva.
Sit tight. Up next, we have stories you don't want to miss. Former Puerto Rican Governor Wanda Vázquez was arrested and charged with bribery.
And DACA recipient Juan Daniel Avila is beating the odds and taking the convention by storm.
And we're going to look at this now. COVID is impacting a major moment in young girls' lives. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
Three, two.
Enjoy the ride.
Welcome to NBCU Academy.
When you challenge the best journalists.
Focus is one of the most important things when it comes to writing and storytelling.
At the best news organization.
Your task is to help people understand what happened.
To educate and train journalists.
What's the truth? What are the facts? What really matters?
And provide access and opportunity to all.
Remembering these basics will help make your piece visually interesting.
Dad, when is the future?
Oh wow. The future is, what's ahead of us?
I don't get it.
Yeah. Maybe this will help. So now, we're in the present. And now, we're in the future.
The all-electric Chevy Bolt EUV with available Super Cruise for hands-free driving.
Dad?
Yeah?
Do fish get thirsty?
Find new answers. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
While many of us are enjoying the convention, you know, as journalists, we rarely leave our work at home.
That was the case for several today who heard about the arrest of Puerto Rico's former governor, Wanda Vázquez Garcet. Así es, especialmente para esos periodistas boricuas que trabajaron la noticia desde aquí en Las Vegas. Veamos.
Que soy inocente, que yo no he cometido ningún delito, ninguna irregularidad.
Ella es Wanda Vázquez, exgobernadora de Puerto Rico, quien enfrenta 7 cargos por soborno.
Cuando hay noticias de última hora, hay noticias de última hora, así que nos cambiamos como que el sombrero de conferencista a editora, a reportero y volvemos entonces a la programación regular.
Jennifer Marcial es una periodista puertorriqueña que ha cubierto la política gubernamental de la Isla del Encanto.
Es aprender a hacer un poquito de todo a la misma vez.
Y a la par de las conferencias a las que asiste en la convención NAHJ en Las Vegas, cubrió el arresto de la exgobernadora Vázquez.
Es una noticia importante, ha salido hasta en medios en inglés, porque es la primera vez que una exgobernadora, un exgobernador en Puerto Rico, pues está enfrentando cargos pues a este nivel federal.
Cristina Corujo también es reportera puertorriqueña que ejerce en Nueva York y sabe del impacto de este arresto.
Es muy triste ver cómo oficiales de gobierno siguen cayendo en estos casos y más triste por la gente de Puerto Rico.
Han cometido una gran injusticia. Mis abogados trabajarán con eso, como ustedes entenderán, no puedo hablar sobre los hechos.
Vázquez Garcet enfrentaría 20 años de cárcel por cometer fraude en su campaña política de 2020, de ser hallada culpable por un jurado. Para NABJ, NAHJ News, soy Ivarelis López.
Durante los últimos 2 días, cientos de periodistas de todas partes han llegado hasta Las Vegas para la conferencia y la feria de trabajo de la Asociación Nacional de Periodistas Hispanos y de Color. Nuestra reportera Karina Basarte estuvo presente y nos tiene la historia.
Quiero ser periodista de deportes, específicamente en fútbol.
Y Juan Daniel Avila nos dice que no es solo una pasión por el deporte, sino también una forma de honrar sus raíces.
Es una pasión que yo tengo desde chiquito, viendo a las Chivas y enfocarme en todo lo de fútbol mexicano y los mexicoamericanos que están ahí como yo, que nacieron en México, pero están en Estados Unidos viviendo otro sueño.
Juan Daniel nos dice las oportunidades a cuales tendrán acceso durante la conferencia serán claves para hacer las conexiones necesarias para cumplir sus sueños.
Obviamente hacer conexiones, pero una oferta, como ya se va a acabar mi tiempo con ESPN como un intern, quiero agarrar ofertas para ver qué puedo hacer y cómo puedo empezar a agarrar este destino.
Destino que espera servir de inspiración para otros soñadores.
Si hubiera pensado esto hace 2 años, estar aquí en una oportunidad tan grande, yo diría que no estuviera aquí, pero las oportunidades han abierto para mí y obviamente me siento orgulloso de estar aquí representando no solo a los latinos, pero a los de DACA, a los DACA recipients.
Les informó Karina Basarte, NABJ y NEHJ News.
Con el fin de las restricciones por el COVID-19, el interés por organizar quinceañeras ha aumentado de una forma considerable. Pero la alta demanda de vestidos de quinceañeras, junto con la falta de telas y materiales, han creado dolores de cabeza para costureros como Diego Medel. Él es el dueño de Quinceland en Los Ángeles y dice que han recibido tantos clientes en los últimos meses que él y sus empleados se han visto forzados a trabajar horas extras para completar todas sus órdenes pendientes. Medel dice que no tiene la misma capacidad de los fabricantes de vestidos de quinceañera más grandes que pueden producir trajes al por mayor, por lo cual les toma más tiempo en el terminar un solo vestido.
Scorching temperatures are expected this week all across the desert Southwest. With hotter and drier conditions in the day and overnight, experts worry about the effects the triple digits would have in urban areas like Las Vegas and Phoenix. Alexandra Mora Medina spoke with concerned community members and experts about how to better prepare.
There's no doubt cities in the desert Southwest like Phoenix and Las Vegas are growing rapidly.
But as we grow, so does the infrastructure. And that, combined with climate change, can cause some negative ramifications.
All of the cars and vehicles on roadways, that traps that warm air that usually is able to escape at night.
Jorge Torres is a meteorologist at ABC 15 in Phoenix, Arizona. He says this phenomenon is called the urban heat island effect.
Really ramp up over the past couple of decades.
Asphalt and darker surfaces traps heat, which doesn't allow it to escape, Torres says. It would make a difference if we had greener surfaces. The problem is, we need water.
We have water, but we're gonna run out, right? So the population and the drought.
Pita Juarez is a longtime climate advocate for Chispa, Arizona. She works directly with communities of color impacted by climate change.
It really worries me of what is going to happen with that.
It's already happening. This is Lake Mead from 1984 and the extreme loss of water throughout the years.
Water is going to be an enormous issue. It already is an enormous issue in the Southwest.
Dr. Sonia Klinsky is an associate professor at Arizona State University.
People who are doing landscaping or doing agricultural labor or doing construction, people who are outside a lot of the time are going to be bearing the brunt of those impacts.
Those impacts can be deadly. The CDC says individuals with already weakened cardiovascular systems have a higher risk of heat-related morbidity and mortality. So what can we do?
We needed to be at the table when we're talking about what is environmental justice and environmental racism look for Latinx people.
Reporting for the Latino Reporter, in Las Vegas, I'm Alexandra Mora Medina.
Still to come, major changes coming to Black News Channel. The things you can expect next.
All of life, destiny stands asking you to make a choice. Who will you be? I will be great. I will be fearless. I will be a dreamer. I choose to be 100.
Growing up, sickle cell disease wasn't talked about much, and it was about 10 years ago that things started to change. We gained allies dedicated to raising awareness and making progress. As a nurse, a sickle cell disease warrior, a patient advocate, and a mom, I'm inspired by companies like GBT and the advances they've made, who saw the overwhelming need and answered the call.
We're very proud of what we've accomplished, but we know that so much more needs to be done. Significant barriers and disparities in care still exist, not just for the sickle cell community, but for the minority community more broadly.
Trust isn't a given. It has to be earned. It has to be kept. It's a trek we make in the stories we tell and the balance we strike, the communities we connect, voices we share. We've been on this journey for a long time.
Hello, I'm Annika Pergament. You're watching Spectrum News.
We're here to illuminate how the national stories impact your local community.
Fargo's Minority Banking Initiative, our Diverse Homeownership Initiative. Those long-standing commitments demonstrate Wells Fargo's consistency around helping communities of color.
It's so important that we bring people into the formal banking system so that they can be put on a meaningful path towards improving their financial well-being.
It is possible to actually make progress and to create a more inclusive, more diverse company that benefits everybody.
Five months after the Black News Channel was shut down and many lost their jobs, the channel has been picked up by television producer Byron Allen.
Byron Allen bought the Black News Channel at the end of July and has now transitioned to the Grillo.
From one voice to many, we are the Black News Channel.
A sudden end hardly anyone saw coming.
It felt like we were disrespected. And that hurt. That hurt.
In early 2020, a new network was launched.
Yesterday morning was the birth of the Black News Channel.
The Black News Channel, or BNC, is a 24/7 news outlet that was made to give a voice to communities of color.
We have a lot of exciting and excellent people in our Black and brown communities, and they really aren't getting the attention they deserve. Black News Channel, I thought, would be the perfect vessel for that. And so that's why I was excited.
For a year and a half, Dre Clark was BNC's New York correspondent.
I told some of my best stories working at Black News Channel.
But the network quickly shut down in March, leaving more than 250 journalists jobless and without their last check.
We all prayed that they would find the money to keep the network open.
And to make matters worse, employees found out they were losing their jobs through email. BNC President Princell Hare said the network could not meet its financial goals and filed for bankruptcy. The shutdown not only impacted employees, but also interns.
I'm really gonna be out here working at the pool while all my friends is out here living their best life in their career.
Sydney Ross was handpicked out of hundreds of college students to intern at BNC. In just 2 months' time, that opportunity no longer existed.
I was going to use this internship with BNC as my college credit so that I could graduate on time because I was really disappointed.
With that disappointment came some hope. In July, billionaire Byron Allen bought BNC, adding the network into his company, The Grio.
I don't have a lot to say other than good luck. Maybe it will do well.
That was Brooklyn Joyner reporting. Allen himself plans to announce his goals for the new network when he speaks at the conference on Friday. We will be right back.
Thanks to Mr. Craig Newmark for his strong commitment of support to NABJ, community, and country. We appreciate you, Mr. Newmark.
At the EW Scripps Company, we are creative and courageous, telling stories with integrity and advancing understanding of the world around us. We're creating the future of our industry, taking opportunities where we find them and creating them where we don't. We're growing our people as we grow our company, seeking the best in ourselves and one another as we improve the lives of those we serve. We help people find their way to trusted journalism. Find your light at Scripps.
And we end tonight celebrating one of our own. Tony, tell us all about it.
Yes, NABJ, NAHJ reporter Yaban Su is the recipient of the Larry Whiteside Scholarship. He accepted the $5,000 honor earlier today at the NABJ Sports Task Force breakfast. The scholarship is named after legendary late great Larry Whiteside. Whiteside covered baseball for more than 3 decades, including the Red Sox as a writer for the Boston Globe. Congratulations, Yao.
Thank you for joining us on NABJ, NAHJ News. I'm Ivarelis Lopez Martinez.
And I'm Tony Bryce. Stay safe and have a great night.